Hey, so in this video, I'm going to be walking you through the WordPress dashboard. My aim with this video is to give you the guide that I wish I had in 2010 when I started using WordPress. I'll take you through what the WordPress dashboard is, how to use it, how to customize it, and really cover the importance of why it's so important to be familiar with the WordPress dashboard. Hey, my name's Dan Davies, and I've been developing WordPress websites for well over 13 years, and I'm now ready to start sharing all the tips and tricks and shortcuts that I've learned over the years so that you can start leveling up your WordPress skills. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for real-life WordPress tips and tricks, then make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications. And if you find value in this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Okay, if you're here, I can assume that you've already installed WordPress. Now, if you haven't got WordPress installed yet, then you can click here, and that'll take you to a guide that I've created which will show you how to install WordPress. I cover 3 different ways, one of which is totally free and doesn't require a domain or hosting. Okay, so now that you've got WordPress installed, the first thing we do is to log into the admin, and we can access the admin by going to the URL bar and adding WP-admin. And then we'll get presented with a login screen, and we just need to log in. So you'll have your username and password, hopefully. Now, once we're logged in, this is the WordPress dashboard. So, what is the dashboard? Okay, so in summary, the WordPress dashboard is the main administrative area of where you're going to go and manage the content, the functionality, and the appearance of your website. So once you log in, you'll see that the dashboard consists of various different sections, and we'll go through each one of them in a moment. But the first thing you'll see is the actual dashboard, and you can see in the top left-hand corner that it's highlighted dashboard. And what we've got here is, first of all, we've got the Welcome to WordPress widget. And you'll see as you scroll down, there's different widgets. And now this is a default installation. So as you start adding more and more plugins and features to your website, you'll probably notice that this section, the dashboard, may get a bit messier because you'll get notifications. There'll be plugins trying to fight for the space on this dashboard. So as you scroll down, what we can see here to start with is welcome message. We've got this site health status, which is a good tool, which we'll cover in a moment. We've got at a glance. We've got recent activity. We've got a way of doing a quick draft. And we've got WordPress events and news. Now, it is possible to customize this display. And if you look in the top right-hand corner here, you'll see this screen option. Now, if you click that, you'll see that all the widgets that we've got on display on this page all have a tick next to them. So if we wanted to hide this welcome to WordPress, we can just untick that and it's disappeared. Now, if you feel like you're not going to do a quick draft from here, we can just untick that. And you don't really care about WordPress events and news, so we can get rid of that. But for this example, we'll just leave everything enabled. Now, I will show you a real-life WordPress website's dashboard in a moment, so we can just see how cluttered it can be when you've got lots of plugins and themes and features applied to your website, and it'll become important that you need to know how to disable some of the features because they won't be important for you. And it's really important that your dashboard serves its purpose for you, that it is a summary of your website. So only the things that are important to you or important to your website should be on display here. Now, another cool feature on the dashboard is how you can just drag and drop and move the widgets around. So if for you, for example, at a glance is more important than health security, you can literally just grab it, move it where you want, or actually if you want it here. And you will notice on larger screens, you will get 3 columns here. So at the moment, it's only given us 2 because we're on a laptop at the moment. But once you start using a bigger screen, then you will get 3 columns. So you can move them into the columns of what's relevant for you. Now, just to run through the items that you can see on the left-hand side here, just briefly before we go into them in a bit more detail, you'll notice that the first one we've got underneath home is updates. Now, this is where WordPress tells us if our WordPress installation has got updates. Now, updates with WordPress are really important. Now, sometimes updates are purely new features that plugins that you're using have released or themes that you're using have released. Sometimes they're WordPress core updates that are also important. And again, sometimes those updates are for features. Quite common, they're security updates. So it's really important that you keep your WordPress installation updated. So if you see any notifications here that your WordPress website requires some updates, it is highly recommended that you do this. Now, if you're not comfortable doing that, then you need to reach out to a developer just to make sure that, if anything does break when you perform an update, that they know how to fix it in that scenario. Okay, so the first item we've got here on our menu is posts. Now, this is where we can create and manage our blog posts. We can categorize them into categories, and we can give the posts tags as well. Okay, media. Now, this section allows you to upload, manage, and edit images, videos, and media files, just so you can use them in your posts and pages. Now, under pages, this is where you can manage, edit, and customize your static pages for your WordPress website. So these are things like your about page, your contact page, and things like your services. So all of this can be managed under the pages section. Now, this section, comments. Now, if you've got a blog post and you've got comments enabled, which, you can disable them, but if you've got them enabled, this is the section where you would go to view, approve, and manage your comments. Next, we've got appearance. Now, this is a really important section because this is where you can set your theme and you can customize your theme as well. So this will give the appearance to the website. And we'll cover this in a bit more detail in a moment. Next, and probably the most common section that you'll be going to, is plugins. Now, plugins are apps that extend the functionality of your WordPress website. So there's a repository of plugins that you can add to your WordPress website. Plugins allow you to add additional functionality to your website. So it could be that you get a plugin for contact form. It could be that you get a plugin to turn your website into an e-commerce shop. Plugins can do absolutely anything, and it saves you hours of writing code or paying a developer to do it, because chances are there's probably a plugin already that does what you're trying to achieve. So in plugins, you can install, activate, deactivate, and manage your plugins. Under users, this is where you can edit and manage the users that have access to your website. Now, there's different levels of access to your website. Now, what we're looking at the moment is the admin access. So you have privileges to be able to do everything to the website. And you can have access where people can just write articles, or there's access to people who are just subscribers to your website and they don't have access to edit the content of your website. So under users, we'll be able to manage users and their privileges. Now, under tools, some really important tools there that you can use. So here we can do things like import and export data to the website, and we can check the site's health. Now, under the settings section, this area contains various settings related to your website's functionality, including your site title, site tagline, time zone, and your permalink structure. Now, don't worry, we'll go through all this in a moment, but just wanted to touch base on what each section does. So as a beginner, it's really important to familiarize yourself with the WordPress dashboard because it allows you to efficiently manage and customize your website. Now, with time and practice, and obviously watching this video till the end, you'll be able to navigate the dashboard like a pro, unlocking the full potential of your WordPress website. Okay, so now if we just run through the different sections so you can see. Now, under posts, this is where we'll start, and this is where you can add blog posts or articles to your website. Now, as you see, as you hover over posts, you'll get shown some sub-menu categories. Now, this is where you can view all posts, you can add a new post, you can add categories, and you can add tags. So generally speaking, you'd want to add your categories first. So if you go to posts, categories, now categories can be added inside the place where you write your articles. So they don't have to be created first, but it's always a good idea to categorize your articles. Now, if you're a new blog and you just want everything to be under news, you could literally write news, add new category. And as you can see now, we've created a category called news and we have 0 posts in that category. Now, if we wanted to add some sort of structure or hierarchy to our posts, so maybe we wanted to write political and we wanted to put this inside the news, then we could create add new category. And now we've got a parent category of news and we've got a subcategory of political. Now, by default, WordPress creates this uncategorized posts. If you're writing a blog post and you don't give it a category, or maybe you forget to give it a category, it will automatically go into this uncategorized. So sometimes it can be a good idea to rename this one to be your primary category. So for example, we could quick edit this and change its name to blog, for example. Now, if we delete the slug, this is what will help users navigate to that page, is if we delete the slug and we update the category, if we reopen it now, we'll see that WordPress has automatically given it the slug in the same name as the name we've given it. So if we want to now add a post to these, we could go to add new. And the first thing we need to do is to give our article a title. So this is my first blog post. And then here we can add our content. So we could copy and paste articles into here, or we can just write. Now, you will notice in this editor, every time you go to a new line, you'll see this plus, and this allows us to add different types of content into the page. Now, the popular items is a paragraph. This is what is by default being used. If we wanted to add an image, we could. If we wanted to add a subheading, we could, or a heading. If we wanted to add a gallery, a list, or a quote, we could. And what these would do is these will be formatted differently when somebody views the website on the front end. Now, if we go to browse all, you will see that there are more blocks available of different types. And again, the only way you're going to get good at these is by practicing them, trying them, and seeing which one works for you. But for this example, we're just going to write a blog post, and we're going to put it into a category. So on the right-hand side, you'll see that if we click on post here, we can see that this post is going to be public. It's going to be published immediately as soon as we click this publish button. The URL will be automatically generated. Now, by default, it will use the page ID. So every time a post is created, it'll be given an ID. And in this case, it's ID 7. So this is not very user-friendly, and I will show you when we cover the settings of how to improve this. But by default, WordPress will require the user to go to this URL to read this blog post. Now, you probably noticed if you looked at other websites that they have name-friendly URLs. So, for example, it would be mywebsite.com/ this is my first blog post. And that's what we'll cover in a moment. So, template, we don't need to worry about. But if we want to change the template, so that'll be the preset layout, we can change that here just by clicking on it and picking any other layouts that are available. Now, these are the layouts that will be generated from themes. And again, we'll cover themes in a moment. And then as you scroll down, you'll see these different sections. So we want this to go into news, and we know it's a political item, so we're going to put it in political. And then you see some other options. We can give it tags. We can assign a featured image. We can assign the excerpt, and we can decide whether we want to allow comments and pingbacks and trackbacks. So by default, we just want to publish this post, and if we click publish, and if we click view post, we've now got on our website, this is my first blog post. So now we've created our first blog post. Now, again, this black bar at the top is also going to be, your friend while you're editing your WordPress website, because this allows you to switch back and forth between the admin and the front end. So if we click edit post, we've now gone back to the admin where we can edit this page. Now, from here, to get back to the main WordPress menu, we just need to click this W here, a WordPress icon, and then we're back to our posts. And now we can see, look, we've got two titles. One is Hello World, and one is our first blog post. And that pretty much summarizes posts. Now, the second item here is media. Now, if we click on media, you'll see that we've got no media in here yet. But if we wanted to add a new media item, we can click add new. We can select file. And then what we can do, we can navigate to any image we want and open. And as you can see, this image is now uploaded into our media library. And if we click on it, we'll see some of the data that this image has. Yeah, and as you can see, we've now got the file URL here. Now, if we close this, we know that our media library has got this photo. Now, if we go back to posts and we click, this is my first blog post. And let's say we want to add an image here. So we can now click add block, image. Now, at this point, we can either choose to upload a new image, or we can go to the media library where we know we've already got an image. So we can go to media library, select the image, select, and now our blog post has got this image in it, and we can click update. So now that we've got the image showing in our post, you'll see on the right-hand side this block item, and this allows you to customize this block. So if you wanted to give it an alt text, or change the size of it, or specific size, add a border. You can do all sorts of customizations to your image here. Now, if we go back to this post tab, this will allow us then to update the image, and we can preview this post. So we can preview it in a new tab. So just wait a sec, and there we go. We've got our blog post and the image is now assigned. So that's how we would assign images to blog posts. So yeah, going back to media. So you can either add media by going to the media library, or you can add media directly inside a post. Now, under pages, pages work in a very similar way to posts. And again, the difference is these don't get categorized. These are static content pages. So if we add a new page, so for example, probably the first page you're going to create is you want a home page. So we can publish a home page. You can view that page. And as you can see, there's nothing on it other than the title that it's the home page. So we can go back to edit page. And again, depending on what theme you're using will depend on the layout of your home page. But in these pages, you're probably going to want to create a handful of pages before you get started, because you'll need an about page. So we can publish this. We'll probably need a contact page. And publish. And as you can see, you'll quickly build up a library of pages. And with these, you can format them in the same way as you would with the posts. So for example, on our home page, just for this example, and for this example, we'll add a different picture and we'll add that via the block. So we'll click plus image and we'll upload an image. We go update. Now, once you're at your dashboard, now this icon here will take you to WordPress.org's website. But this, my website, if you right click on this and open in new tab, you'll then get to see your website. Now, something's not right here because we're looking at our home page, but we just created a home page and we put our photo on it. So something hasn't quite worked here. We need to fix this. So if we click this, it'll now switch back to the admin. And the first thing we need to do is we need to tell WordPress which page is our home page. And we would do that by going to settings and reading. Now, your home page displays your latest post. That's how we've currently got it set. So actually, I want it to be a static page. So I want my home page to be my home page. Let me just move that out the way and I'll click save. Now, if we go back to our home page, there we go. This is our home page that we created in the admin. So now you can see you're starting to control the content on the website. Okay, so that's pages. Now, under comments, as you can see here, from our dummy post, and you'll probably find that once you install WordPress, you too will have this comment and this post, which is called Hello World. For this one, we'll probably delete it, but just for you to see, these are the options that you get available to each comment that comes through to your WordPress. So when somebody leaves a comment, it'll come through here and you can either unapprove it, approve it, reply, quick edit, spam it, or trash. So for this, we don't want to keep this, we're just going to trash it. So that comment is now gone. Now under appearance, this is where we can dictate which themes we want to use. Now if we click on themes, we'll see that currently we've got 2023, 2021 and 2022. Now these are the default WordPress themes. Now we can install a premium theme. Now there's plenty of places you can get premium themes from, or you can pay a developer to create your own custom theme. But for this example, we'll just go to the WordPress themes and see which one we want to try on our website. So we'll click add new and we'll see here, look, we don't have to use the ones WordPress have given us. So we can scroll down, we can see here which one we want to try. Let's try Astra. So we can install Astra. Just wait for a moment for it to install. And activate. And now what you'll notice straight away is we've got a new menu item here called Astra. Now this is theme specific settings that we can use to customize the appearance of our website. Now, if we flip back to our home page, we'll see it's got a slightly different appearance. Now, the layout and the style, even though it still looks white and very clean and spacious, it has a different layout because now it's using the Astra theme files that we've installed to generate the appearance of the website. So yeah, picking your theme is going to be something that's going to be specific to every single person. But for you, I think as a beginner, the best thing to do is to work your way through the themes that are available on the WordPress repository and pick one that works for you and just work your way through the options. You'll also notice that now that under the Appearance tab, we've got some more options. So we've got a Customize option, we've got some widgets, we've got a menu, and we've got the theme file editor. Now, just to show you what these are quickly. So themes we've already seen. So this is where all your installed themes are. Customize is a new one that we didn't have earlier. So this allows us to view the website and start customizing it. So these are using Astra's themes settings. So under global, we can go in here. We can change the heading. We can change the fonts. We can go back. We can change colors. You can pick your colors for the titles. So yeah, so you can just really have some fun changing and styling your website. So if we leave that, now the next section is plugins. Now under plugins, as we've explained earlier, this is where you would add additional mini apps or functionalities to your website. So for example, let's say we wanted a contact form. Now what we could do is we could click add new. And then in the top right hand corner here, we could search for contact form. So you can either search by the name of the plugin that you want or by the functionality of what you're looking for. So for me, I want a contact form. This is a popular one. It's got 5 million active installations. It's got 4 stars, so must be pretty good. So I'm going to install now. And with a click of a button, you can add pretty complex functionalities to your website. Now click activate. And as you can see now, under plugins, we've got one plugin, which is Contact Form 7, and it's active. Now, in order for this to actually work on your website, you will need to go through to the settings. And now I've created a video on how to use Contact Form 7. Yeah, now each plugin that you install will have its own set of instructions and rules of how to use it. So for example, this one, I know we've got a contact form here, and it's created a dummy form for us, which has got your name, your email, subject, and a message. Now, in order for us to add this to our website, we would copy this shortcode and we can go to our home page. And maybe underneath this photo, we want to add a contact form. So we can paste our shortcode here and it's automatically detected that it's a contact form 7 shortcode. So we're going to put contact form 1 here, update. Now, if we flick back to our home page and refresh, we've now got a contact form on our website on our home page. And just like that, with a few clicks, we've now got some additional functionality on our website. So yeah, so over time, you're going to become more and more familiar with plugins and what they do. But yeah, this is the area that you would go in order to manage and add and install plugins. Now users, as you can see, currently we've only got one user. Now we can create new users, and as you can see, when you enter their username and their email address, which are the 2 mandatory fields, you can then pick what privileges you want to give them. I'll leave a link below in the description so you can read a bit more about what each one has privileges for. But yeah, as somebody who's going to want to manage and edit your website, you want to be an administrator. An editor would be able to edit more of the content. An author would write posts. And then a contributor would be able to edit posts. It wouldn't be able to create new ones. Now, if we go to tools, this is where we can import and export data. So if we wanted to export our website, we could export all contact. And then finally, under settings, just to run through some of these, you can see here, look, we've got our site title. So we can change this to the website, and as you can see here, it's automatically updated here because this is the name of our website. We can give it a tagline. We can change the address of the website. Not advisable to do that here because obviously we've installed it on this location. But if you're moving your website to a different location, you can maybe want to do that here. So admin email address, that's not right. So this is your admin email address. So this is used for admin purposes. So obviously it's important that you're receiving these emails. And as you can see, as you run through the settings, you'll see several different options that you can customize to make the website more suitable for you. So if you have a different preference for date format or time format, you can change those here and then just click Save Settings. Now you'll see different settings under writing. Reading is generally quite important because you can dictate how many posts you want to appear on a single page, what page you want to be as your home page, your post page, whether you want to discourage search engines while you're building a website. It's quite common to turn this on because you don't want search engines indexing your website while it's still in development. We're not going to save anything here. Under discussions, we've got plenty of options here around comments. We can block certain keywords. Lots of things we can do in terms of the discussion settings. Media settings, so we can dictate the sizes of our images that get uploaded. Because when you upload an image in WordPress, WordPress will create different versions of that image to be used in different cases. So let's say you have a really big, high quality photo. That's probably not wise to use that for a thumbnail. So what WordPress will do is it will create its own version of that image in a smaller format, and that will help you the website speed. So yeah, so you can dictate different sizes to images here. Permalinks, now we mentioned this at the start of the video. So this is how your pages are accessed. So by default, which is what we showed you earlier, it had this pretty ugly looking URL. Now, no one's going to really remember the page IDs of your website. So post name is probably the most recommended one. And as we've switched to the Astra theme, it's automatically changed our permalink structure to this one. So if we create a post called Dan's First Post, then the website would automatically create the URL to be mywebsite.com Dan's First Post. So it would look in that format. And then the final option here is privacy. Now, again, you can just take your time, read through this, make sure you're comfortable with everything, and it allows you to create your privacy policy based on your input. And that's it. That basically covers the WordPress dashboard. Now, there's obviously a lot more that we can go into, but I feel like as a beginner, that's probably a summary of what you need to understand with the WordPress dashboard. So yeah, go through that. If you've got any questions and you feel like, you want to understand a bit more, maybe ask me in the comments. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so I think that covers it. Yeah, we've gone through each section in the WordPress dashboard. Hopefully you feel a little more confident understanding of what the WordPress dashboard is and how to use it. And you're well on your way to creating your first WordPress website. Now, if you found value in the video and you felt it was useful, make sure you hit the thumbs up, and obviously please subscribe and turn on those notifications for the next video. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.